Thank you. There is a fascinating story in the Midrash about Abraham. It is said that he spent the first years of his life hidden away in a cave. We're not exactly sure why. Perhaps there was danger, or perhaps it was simply part of his journey to understanding. In any case, Abraham lived in darkness. No trees, no flowers, no sun or moon, no animals or people. For those first years, there was nothing to see but darkness. And then one day, Abraham stepped out. He emerged from the cave into the wide, bright world for the very first time. Can you imagine what that must have felt like? Imagine you'd never seen the sun before, and suddenly there it was, lighting up the sky with its golden brilliance, or the moon, soft and cool, bathing the night in its glow. As Abraham looked up at the sky, overwhelmed by the beauty of it all, he felt the need to worship. He gazed at the sun and he worshipped it all day long until it set. Then he turned to the moon and worshipped it all night until it, too, disappeared below the horizon. And it was in that moment, after the sun and the moon had both disappeared, that Abraham realized something profound. There must be something greater than the sun, greater than the moon. There must be something behind it all, some force, some oneness, connecting everything that exists. It was then that Abraham was filled with awe. And it was then that God called out to him, Lech lecha, go forth on your journey. This, according to our tradition, is where our story as a people begins. Our journey begins with awe. It begins with radical amazement at the beauty and the mystery of the universe and a recognition that we in our smallness are part of something vast, something incomprehensible. However, here's the ironic thing about awe. While we know that feeling small in the face of something so grand is part of what makes us human, we also spend a great deal of time trying to avoid that feeling. We don't like to feel small. We spend much of our lives trying to create meaning and significance through our jobs, our families, our goals and plans, ticking off tasks from our to-do lists. These things give us a sense of control, a sense that the universe is not so vast or so chaotic as it might seem. That if we can things in order, we matter. We live in a world now where it's easy, almost too easy, to get lost in the noise. The constant stream of news about conflict and violence, the war in Israel, political upheavals here in the UK and abroad, financial uncertainties, the rise of anti-Semitism, all these things overwhelm us. Every day we are bombarded with updates and alerts that make us want to retreat, to close ourselves off, to avoid looking too closely at all the realities in front of us. Sometimes it even feels like it would be easier to go back into the cave of Abraham and stay in the darkness, where we don't have to face the harshness of the world outside. And in a way, there's comfort in darkness. when the world feels chaotic and uncontrollable, when it feels like everything is spinning out of balance, we may find ourselves wanting to turn inward, to shield ourselves from the madness. The darkness feels safe, like a shelter from the storm. It gives us a sense of security because when we are in the dark, we don't have to confront what's out there. We don't have to face the painful truth that the uncomfortable realities. We don't have to ask the hard questions about our role in all. But the truth is that kind of comfort is fleeting. Living in the dark, avoiding the world around us, only keeps us trapped in our own caves. Like Abraham, we need to step outside into the light. Yes, the world is filled with chaos, but between the chaos, there are moments of beauty and hope. There are moments of awe waiting to be discovered. If only we would lift our eyes and look around. The Hasidic masters understood this deeply. Israel ben Eliezer, the Baal Shem Tov, lived in a time when much of Jewish practice was focused on the exactitudes of law, on the details of what to do and how to do it. But the Baal Shem Tov and his followers believed that the goal of Jewish life wasn't just about getting things right. It wasn't just about ticking off boxes and following rules. Instead, they taught that the purpose of life was to feel awe, to be amazed by the world, and to find God in this world. One of the Baal Shem Tov's teachings comes in form of a parable. He said, "I once traveled across the countryside with 3 horses, but none of them could neigh. I was worried that my horses had lost their voices, that they couldn't express themselves, so I drove them harder and harder. One day, I met a peasant on the road, and he called out to me, 'Slacken the reins!' So I slackened the reins, and suddenly all 3 horses began to neigh." It's a simple story, but the message is profound. So often in life, we are like those horses. We are driven hard, constrained by our own expectations, our fears, our needs to keep up. We tighten the reins on ourselves, pushing harder and harder to stay in control, to keep going. But in doing so, we lose our ability to express ourselves. We lose our connection to the world around us. It's only when we loosen the reins, when we allow ourselves to step back, to look around, to be open to what's beyond us, that we truly see and experience the world in all its fullness. And what happens when we do that? What happens when we slacken the reins and lift our heads? We rediscover awe. We rediscover the beauty that's always been there, waiting for us to be noticed. We see the wonder in the sky, in the trees, in the faces of the people we love. We feel the vastness of the universe, and we understand that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. So, what is awe? What am I talking about? According to modern research, awe can be broken down into 2 components. The first is what scientists call perceived vastness, the awareness of something much larger than us. This could be physical, like standing on the foot of a mountain, or it could be conceptual, like encountering a profound piece of music or art. The second component is what they call need for accommodation. The idea that when we experience something truly awe-inspiring, our minds have to stretch and expand to make sense of it. We have to adjust our understanding of the world to fit this new experience in. So, awe is not just about feeling small in the face of something vast. It's about allowing ourselves to be changed by it. It's about opening our minds to new possibilities, to new ways of seeing the world. And this is something we desperately need in our lives, especially now, when everything around us feels overwhelming, when the news is full of conflict and uncertainty, when we hear of rockets falling on Israel or anti-Semitic incidents in our own communities. Awe offers us a way to reconnect with what truly matters. It reminds us that despite the chaos, there is still beauty, there is still hope, and there is still wonder to be found. I'm not saying that we should ignore all the issues around us. They are important, and we need all of you to help us to face them. We cannot jump from one cave to another. Instead, what I'm asking from you is not to lose your ability to be in awe because of the harsh reality of the past month. We have a wonderful blessing for moments of awe. Every time when we recite the morning blessing, we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Blessed is the Holy One who opens the eyes for those who were blind. Traditionally, this blessing is about thanking God for the physical ability to see, but it can also be understood as a reminder to open our eyes spiritually and emotionally. It's a call to lift our heads, to look around and to truly see the world, not just the darkness, but the light as well. When Moses encounters God for the first time in the flames of the burning bush, God says to him, Sha'al na'alecha me'al raglecha, remove the shoes from your feet, for the ground on which you stand is holy. The Hasidic masters taught that this command to remove one's shoes is a powerful metaphor. It means that we must throw off the habitual, the comfortable, the things that enclose us to recognize the holiness that is all around us. So, as we stand here today, let's ask ourselves, what are those shoes that we need to remove? What are the habits, the fears, the distraction that keep us from seeing the world as it really is? What are the things that keep us from experiencing awe? In these times of uncertainty, when it feels easier to retreat into darkness, let us remember that the world is still full of light. Let us remind ourselves to step out of the cave, to slacken the reins, and to open our eyes to the miracles around us. From this Yom Kippur to the next, may we, like Abraham, lift our heads and be amazed. May we find awe in the everyday, and may that sense of wonder lead us forward toward hope and renewal. As we move through this difficult world, may our connections to one another and to the divine be strengthened, guiding us toward a future filled with goodness and blessing. In the face of darkness, may we be the ones who bring light. In the face of hatred, may we be the ones who spread love. In the face of despair, may we be the ones to inspire hope. For we are the descendants of Abraham who stepped out of the cave and into the light. We are the inheritors of a tradition that teaches us to find awe and wonder in the world, even in the darkest of times. Let us go forth on our journey with open eyes and open hearts, ready to be amazed by the world around us and by the strength within us. For in doing so, we not only honor our past, but also build a brighter future for ourselves and for the generations to come. Gemar Chatima Tova, Shabbat Shalom.